27-17 edge in the fourth quarter to put it away. Next, Inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai. So for Mike Fratello, Jeff Van Gundy, Craig Sager, and Cheryl Miller, this is Marv Albert saying goodnight from Dallas. And Jeff, as you point out, NASCAR's race for the championship returns tonight.
The NBA presented by Hyundai is on the way. Charles Barkley, Kenny the Jet Smith, Magic Johnson all here to break down this Game 3, San Antonio's 96-83 win, which gives San Antonio a 2-1 series lead. We'll be back. Here we go. What a second half for the San Antonio Spurs. They lead it 2-1, and live we take you to Greg Popovich here in Dallas.
We're a better team offensively, and he was aggressive tonight. He made some shots, and obviously that helps. But when he's aggressive, we're better.
Most teams really fight if they're caught in a bind when they switch the pick and roll like you did tonight, and you know Duncan's got a guard out there on the perimeter. What makes it where Tim is able to hold his own basically against the guard?
Well, you know, Tim's you know, smart enough to try to use his length. He knows that there's going to be a disadvantage there, but he uses his length well and he positions himself well. You know, that's about it.
Also talk about the way he protected the rim and just, you know, just rebounding and everything.
All right, so welcome to Inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai. Ernie Johnson, Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley, and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tim Duncan, the story offensively. He and Tony Parker for San Antonio. Dirk Nowitzki, however, that's the story that all the Dallas fans are concerned about because he left the floor in the fourth quarter and did not return. Let's get an update on his status right now from Cheryl Miller. Cheryl?
Thanks a lot, Ernie. About 15 minutes ago, Dirk Nowitzki left the X-ray room. They came back negative. Tomorrow he will have an MRI done. Right now they don't know exactly the extent of his injury, but they will find out tomorrow, Ernie.
All right, thank you very much, Cheryl. And obviously Nowitzki, it was a knee. I don't know if it's too much to speculate right now, but it was the left knee. And you saw him inside here in the fourth quarter, and I don't know if it was one of those hyperextensions or whatever it possibly was, guys. You saw the play too.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing, and everybody's going to be talking about that instead of how well the Spurs played. Hey, Tony Parker was awesome. He just spanked Steve Nash in the third quarter. That was a great quarter. But also, Tim Duncan was his usual self. And I think what you see is why the Mavs cannot beat the Spurs. Everybody said they make those great runs. They make those great runs because they get hot. But when they don't make those shots, they can't make those runs. They can never get any stops defensively.
Oh, you off your diet?
Yeah, is this
You
nice?
got a fork in you.
I'm hungry right now. I'll tell you what that means later.
You gonna tell me what it means?
I'll tell you what
I
that
think
means
we probably have an idea, but we'll let you save it till you want to spring it on us later. He mentioned Tony Parker. I know when you came up here to do the show, and wow, what a quarter this guy put together in the third.
He was truly amazing. Here he is, the three-pointer. He was hitting outside shots, inside shots, off-balance shots, but he was under control the whole third quarter. And like he just said, you know what? I'm going to just take over this game because I'm going to give Tim Duncan a rest for the third quarter to get him ready for the fourth quarter. But I tell you, truly was amazing. His poise, his confidence, he was ready to go, and he just attacked Steve Nash on every play, and he got the team going. And I tell you what, Tim Duncan, oh man.
As if you hadn't seen enough of him in the Lakers series.
You know, he was doubled and triple teamed and still got 34 points, 24 rebounds. He is just too good. He's too good, but he's so great to watch because he's so smooth.
Fifth time in his career in the playoffs that he's had a 20-20 game.
Amazing.
And third time against Dallas. Jet, weigh in on
mean,
this
as
game.
great as they played offensively, Tony Parker and Tim Duncan, defensively is really, I thought they were more impressive because every single shot on the perimeter was contested. Every single shot in driving the lane, someone was coming over. You had to shoot over the top every single time. Impressive defensive effort more than anything else to me.
And a lot of team blocks, too, on that defense. They forced them to drive, and when they were driving, Tim Duncan and David Robinson just closed the whole middle down.
Just to reinforce the strength that Tim Duncan has shown. Here's his 30-plus point playoff streak. 37, 40, 32, and tonight he goes for 34. The first, first Spur with 4 consecutive since Iceman.
But the thing about that what separates him from a lot of players in this game, he doesn't have to shoot the ball like 35 times to get 30 points.
Yes.
His field goal percentage is phenomenal. He gets a lot on the offensive board. A lot of guys can score a lot of points or take a lot of shots, but to get a lot of points on the minimum amount of attempts, that's what separates him in the game right now.
Still want to share the fork at all?
What's going on, man?
I guess that's still to come on Inside the NBA, as is discussion of the Eastern Conference Finals. 3 games are in the books in the East.
Boy.
And the New Jersey Nets games to 1. He's live here at American Airlines Center.
How good he is. We all know about his offensive skills and talents, but defensively, he was the reason. He was the difference. He was everywhere with his shot block, his rotations, his strength on the board. He just basically stopped our defense, and then the moves that Pop made, I thought, were really good and solid, and really made us pay for the type of team that we have. The news on Dirk Nowitzki is not good. His knee is very sore, and he twisted it somehow, and it's a strain. He'll get an MRI tomorrow, and I wouldn't expect that he would play the next game, and I wouldn't be sure that he would play in the series. But I'm not a doctor, but I'm just telling you the way the coach feels, that we should not take a gamble or a chance on Dirk Nowitzki. I told Dirk that he must feel that he's 100%, totally 100% for me to play him again in the series. And from the looks of him tonight, that's probably not going to happen. So anyway, we'll get an MRI tomorrow, but I think main thing that we have to think about now is the health of Dirk Nowitzki, and to make sure that we don't do something silly for a game or two that we feel is some of the most important games that we've played in our franchise history. Nothing's more important than Dirk Nowitzki's career, and I will not jeopardize that career. Any questions?
So that is exactly what the Dallas Mavericks do not need to hear, with Dirk Nowitzki scheduled, as Don Nelson said, for an MRI, and his status for the rest of the series certainly in doubt. And this happening to a team which beat the Sacramento Kings, which knows exactly what this is all about, when Chris Webber went down and they had to go into that series or continue that series without their best player. So it's kind of bleak here in Big D tonight as far as the Mavs go, Chuck.
Well, it's unfortunate, but I know that's going to give them a good reason to complain all summer, but they wasn't going to beat the Spurs anyway because they don't play good defense. I said it earlier, and I keep harping on it. They can't stop anybody. And it's great when they make those runs, when they're making all those shots. It looks good. But sooner or later, you're going to have to stop somebody, and they cannot do it.
Chet?
I still want to know what the fork is, but
I can tell you exactly what the fork is. But
I think Charles has hit it on the head. I think right now this game is about stops, and you've seen what Tony Parker was able to do. They weren't able to stop his run in that quarter. Tim Duncan, you see what he was able to do. They weren't able to stop him. So there wasn't a consistent time. Even when the Mavericks went up, the reason they went up because they were hitting threes. It wasn't because they were stopping the San Antonio Spurs. They have to somehow make a concerted effort, trick defenses, zones, whatever, to stop them for a consistent period of time if they want to win the series or win any games.
Weigh in before we move to the East.
Well, I think they said it all. If you don't play defense, you don't win championships. Simple as that. And San Antonio is on a mission, just like New Jersey is on a mission on the other side. And they both play great defense, and that's why they're going to end up in the championship.
One other bit of business to do before we talk about the Eastern Conference Final. Let's talk to Tony Parker, who has been nice enough to stick around, put the headset on, and if I had the kind of third quarter he had, I'd want to tell everybody about it too. Tony, thank you a lot for joining us. And,
how you doing?
We're doing great. Tell me what that third quarter was like, because man, you took over.
I felt great. Pop asked me at halftime to be more aggressive and try to help Timmy out, try to help him in the scoring, because we played a terrible second quarter. They hit a lot of big shots, especially Van Nixel with big threes, and try to play better defense second half, and we played a lot better.
Tony, I'm curious. You have these games where you just go ballistic. You always play well, but you go ballistic. Why does a player as good as you are, why does the coach have to tell you to be more aggressive?
Well, I'm young, and I try to make everybody happy, try to run the team. We got a lot of guys in the team who can score. And sometimes I feel like I have to pass the ball to Timmy or, Manu or Dave. So it's going to come. The more I play games with them, the more I feel more comfortable to take over.
Well, Tony, this is Magic. I think the key.
How you doing, Magic?
How you doing? Great game, anyway.
Thanks.
I think the key is when you guys get up to an early lead and a big lead, I always say that the point guard is the key to letting the team come back. Tonight, you were the key to not letting them come back. And what do you contribute that to?
Well, I'm definitely agree with you. That's why I'm mad after the games we lost our big leads, because I think it's the point guard job to make sure we take care of our lead and get inside, especially when you got a guy like Tim Duncan who's so dominant. And so tonight I would just want to make sure we keep our lead and be aggressive, and every time they come back, make sure we get a good play and try to score.
Tony, this is Kenny. Just keep with
Kenny?
All right, let's keep with the point guard talk. let's say, how do you keep the pace of the game, the San Antonio Spurs pace, when you're playing against a Maverick team?
Well, I have to be careful, I have to be in between, push the ball, and make sure we don't play the Dallas game, because our game is to give the ball to Timmy and try to hurt them inside, because Dallas got nobody who can stop Timmy. So I have to make sure don't push the ball too much. But Pop is here to slow him down anyway.
Yeah, Timmy, I can say this, Timmy. I mean, you're going to be a hell of a player in this league for a long time, because the first thing you say, we got to get the ball to Timmy.
I know my job like Magic. You pass the ball to Jabbar.
That's right. Hey, TP, you're going to keep your job because you know your job. I just want to hit you with this one. You were named one of the 50th beautiful people in America. How do you feel about that?
Oh, now it's a big honor. I need to shave every day now. I like to shave every time, So I have to just be careful, They mess with me every day now, especially in France, man. It's terrible.
Life is rough, Tony. Thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you, guys.
And again, congratulations on a great game.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Certainly. The Spurs take a 2-1 lead.
You know what's very interesting?
What was very interesting?
No, all season long, people have been beating this kid up, talking about the Spurs need to go out and get Jason Kidd. And how ironic is it going to be that they're probably, New Jersey going to be there. And it's going to be real interesting. It's going to be kind of like a sideshow, actually, going between Jason and him with the media throughout this entire process. And that's going to be the biggest distraction for him.
If it does indeed wind up to be a New Jersey,
this is what you're trying to tell us something?
NBA final.
What the fuck? I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry, man.
Tell us.
He takes that wherever he goes.
Who needs a fork? Why does someone need a fork around here?
Hey, I've been promising that we're going to talk about the Eastern Conference final, and we really are. I think. Play hard. That's an entertaining little graphic there, wasn't it?
It's funny. I've been watching New Jersey. Like, I don't normally sit down and watch the entire game because sometimes it's boring, but I've been on content.
When we come back, we are going to show you the highlights one more time. Come on, Chuck. You like to see Duncan again.
Duncan?
Come on. Tim Duncan.
Oh, he was doing it.
Timmy. Not Timmy. Timmy. He says that great. Timmy.
Sweepstakes
These
is
six
in
leather seats.
They're
heated.
Full swing.
The big back seat.
Log on to NBA.com.
The moonroof.
Wait a minute. Why you have to put that thing up there? What's the little logo said at night?
At night it's a moonroof. During the day it's a sunroof. At night it's a moonroof.
That's stupid, Ernie.
It has a big.
You don't have two names for it.
Hey, Bob Delaney, Danny Crawford, and Bill Spooner, the officiating crew.
Oh, get some of that.
We want Joey Crawford. We want Joey on Sunday.
And you go get him too.
Second half belonged to the San Antonio Spurs. They were down 8 at the
second half belonged to that man right there, Tony Parker.
Yeah, but don't shout it too easy. This was a tough one. Nice. Excuse me.
Yes.
19 points in the third. 29 on the night.
Tim Duncan is scary, y'all.
34 and 24.
And 6 assists
and 6 blocks. The different numbers.
And then the injury to Dirk Nowitzki. Left knee is going to have an MRI on Saturday. We'll see what his status is for the rest of this series, if he's able to go at all. There's Duncan again.
You know, I thought Karl Malone was the best power forward I've ever seen and run up and down the floor. But Tim Duncan's better.
Yeah, because he can do more things.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
San Antonio wins at 96-83. The Spurs normally get about 25 points from the guys on their bench.
You notice I
Tonight
said
only 4
best power forward is doing something, not the best power forward. Don't feel confused.
I know. I never confuse anything you'd have to say. 96-83. The Spurs now lead the series 2-1. Yes, 6 free throw attempts by the Mavericks as that number continues to plummet, and the San Antonio Spurs.
They're going to be shooting negative free throws in Game 4 if it keeps going that way.
But Kenny, you touched on it. That San Antonio played great defense tonight.
Great perimeter defense. You just go out, they put a hand in their face. Dallas likes to stay on the perimeter.
I see Charles getting into it here.
Chuck, is that you?
Yeah, Charles was getting into it with the
Got your Rocket jersey on? Oh, man. The mascot took, come on, man. Chuck,
They got you looking like Big Miller that used to play with Phoenix.
I got to call him. Hey, you got to get off Oliver, man. Oh, Big O, I got your message. I'll call you later. Hey, did you see Annika Sorenstam today?
Yeah,
I felt bad she missed the cut. That was really gutsy. I was happy that she got a chance to do it, even though I didn't agree with it. I wish she had made the cut.
She finished 5 over? One over going in, 4 over on the
we
day.
shoot the same one.
What were you saying about the kitchen? Something you in the back? You don't want to say that now.
Hey, first of all, hey, listen, I was good. Hey,
You and Hootie.
Look at you and PJ.
Don't y'all.
Look at the He-Man Woman Haters Club.
If
All y'all need is alfalfa.
If y'all ever put Hootie Johnson hands on me again, I'm going to come behind the scenes and beat the hell out of somebody. Hey, first of all, I had no problem with her playing. I just didn't think she should be there, but she was there. It ain't no big deal.
But when she should go back to, you said?
A good woman wasn't in the kitchen.
So we've gone basketball to golf. What else could we throw into this show? I know NASCAR.
Homecoming for the Mavericks. Dirk went down, and the Spurs went up 2-1. Game 4 is Sunday, and the Mavericks look to step up and even the score.
And now the Southwest Airlines.
Light of the night.
This better not be but one play.
Tim Duncan.
Okay. That's the flash. Ray LaFrance, did you get what you were looking for?
No, he wasn't looking.
That's what I always did
He had his eyes closed.
when I dunked on the guy. I said, did you get what you were looking for?
You know, I think we're just about out of time here from the American Airlines Center, where it's 2-1 San Antonio over Dallas. In fact, we are out of time. They're counting 3-2. See you Sunday.
Sunday.
Straight playoff games. In fact, he's averaging 35 points and 18 rebounds so far in this Western Conference final.
Did you know the only players to average 35 points and 15 boards for an entire conference final series are Elgin Baylor and Wilt Chamberlain? Baylor actually did it twice with the Lakers, and Wilt did it as a member of the San Francisco Warriors in '64. That's going to do it for us. I'm Neil Everett. For 6 seasons in the 1980s, the Don Nelson coached Milwaukee Bucks were the NBA's top defensive team based on opponents' field goal percentage. Coaches should spend more time on defense than offense, said Nelson, who mothballed the Mavericks' offensive playbook for the first week of training camp this season. Apparently that wasn't long enough. San Antonio averaging 114 points per in the first 2 games of the Western Conference Finals. By the way, Nelly's Bucks never made it out of the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 3 in Dallas. Series tied at 1 apiece. 165 free throws in games 1 and 2. So the men in stripes say 3 will be a free-for-all.
Hey guys, you remember the playground days? Call your own fouls. Call your own fouls tonight. We're gonna trust you guys, okay? Michael, that was a joke.
First quarter, Spurs up 3. Duncan the rebound and the jam over Rafe LaFrance. Tied at 18 after 1. Spurs went 5 minutes without a field goal in that first quarter. Second quarter, pace is going to turn the Mavs' way, thanks in large part to Nick the Quick. Van Excellent missed his first 3 shots, made his next 5, 13 points by the half. Second in the 12th quarter. Mavs by 8 at the half. Third quarter, Tony Parker.
We want to make sure we come out aggressive. You know, and Pop asked me to be more aggressive in the second half and try to play better defense, you know, and we tried to switch on everybody. I think it bothered them a little bit, and their offense, my shot felt good in the third quarter, and I was running after that.
Tony Parker, 19 in the third on 8 of 11 shooting. Finished with 29. Spurs up 3 after 3. Tim Duncan doing it all. 6 blocks, 34 points, 24 rebounds. Ties George Gervin's Spurs record of 4 consecutive playoff games with at least 30 points. Spurs, though, they've blown double-digit leads in a bunch of games, and they're up double digits, but this is potentially devastating for the Mavs. Nowitzki down, a knee injury. He did not return. More on him later. Still in the fourth, Spurs up 13. Ginobili for the lay-in from Duncan, his only bucket of the game. And then all Spurs, Don Nelson, breakfast not agreeing, Duncan to Malik Rose. Beautiful pass. Spurs win at 96-83, 2-1 series lead. Don Nelson talking about Dirk in the future.
I'm not a doctor, but I'm just telling you the way the coach feels that we.
I was running back on defense. I don't even know what happened. We got the ball somehow. We pushed it back down, and I looked down, and Dirk was on the ground.
If he's not able to play, they're not going to let up at all, and they will come back, with fire, and we'll have to be ready for that. But nobody wants to lose a player of that caliber, so I honestly hope that he is back.
All right, Game 4, Sunday in Dallas. The big question, whether Nowitzki will be back. Fred Carter, he has thoughts.
Well, no question about it now. The Mavericks really have their work cut out for them if Dirk Nowitzki is not able to suit up, because they know what happened to Sacramento when Chris Webber was not able to play, because there are not enough guys in that organization, that team, to really pick it up. You pick up now the injury when it happens in the ball game, and at this point, it is a 12-point ball game, and this is where the Mavericks get the ball on the open floor. Right then, Don Nelson should have called timeout to stop the flow of the game. Why? Because it comes down the floor right there. Michael Finley has a chance to give a foul. He doesn't. Now watch Rayful Prince. Mr. Whipple's son, he won't squeeze the Sharman. He gives a soft foul. That winds up being a 3-point play. That game goes to 15. From that point on, that ball game is over. But when you look at the ball game, in the third quarter, it was a little Frenchman, Tony Parker, Sacre Bleu, the little guy took over. I mean, doing it all. Steve Nash, not able to stay with him. Normally, when you get a guy that hot, there's one of 3 things you do. You knock him on his can, you guard him, or you play offense yourself against him and make him work on a defensive end. Nash did neither of the 3. Tony Parker, 19 points in the third period. A big, big win for the Spurs.
SportsCenter's just beginning. Win and you're in.
Fouls, 9 technicals, and 2 ejections. That was before Friday's Game 3 between Dallas and San Antonio. The Spurs win to gain back the home court advantage they lost by losing Game 1. Game 3, not the only thing Dallas lost. With 7:45 to go and San Antonio beginning to pull away, Mavs fans had to look away. Their star, Dirk Nowitzki, down on the court with a knee injury. For more on that and Game 3, here's Shelley Smith.
It is one of those replays nobody wants to watch. Manu Ginobili colliding with Dirk Nowitzki, who dropped and lay crumpled underneath the basket.
I have no idea what happened, honestly. I was running back on defense. I don't even know what happened. We got the ball somehow. We pushed it back down, and I looked down, and Dirk was on the ground.
X-rays of Nowitzki's left knee showed nothing broken. The Mavs say he will have an MRI Saturday morning, which will show if anything is torn. Regardless, Don Nelson says the immediate news is not good.
His knee is very sore, and he twisted it somehow, and it's a strain. He'll get an MRI tomorrow. And I wouldn't expect that he would play the next game, and I wouldn't be sure that he would play in the series.
We got a lot of tough guys mentally who can go out there and produce, and guys who will really fight for one another and really stick together. So obviously we miss an incredibly talented and skilled player who is our leader offensively, but we're going to have to pick it up some way, and guys will step up.
I think those guys have done a pretty good job the couple times that he has been out of really taking the offense upon themselves. They got so many offensive players, although he is their best, and he will take a lot away from their game because he also is a very good rebounder, and they'll have to find a big guy to be aggressive inside.
The Mavs may be out of big guys. Sean Bradley also twisted his knee in the game, and third-string center Evan Eschmeyer injured his knee in practice earlier in the week. With Tim Duncan and the Spurs playing like they did in Game 3, this could be a problem that Don Nelson, even with a clipboard and a beer, can't solve.
Don't open the cage. Don't follow the spiders. Don't land in the tree. And most importantly of all,
don't panic.
Order Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, now available for the magical price of $2.99.
Only on DirecTV pay-per-view.
The Ultimate Fighting Championship is hot as hell in a Las Vegas meltdown. UFC legend Ken Shamrock returns to heat it up with brawler Ian Freeman. And heavyweight fan favorites Chemo and Tank Abbott meet in a scorching bout. And the return of Vitor the Phenom Belfort. Plus, Chuck Liddell takes on two-time heavyweight champion Randy Couture for the title. It's an all-star night of blistering bouts. UFC 43 Meltdown. Live on DirecTV pay-per-view Friday, June 6th.
The NBA Western Conference Finals pregame show is brought to you by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. It's in the NBA. Is it in you? And Southwest Airlines.
Welcome back to American Airlines Center, where the fans, the camera people, the security officers are now being allowed to come back in. But once again, with the security precautions, everybody will have to go through the metal detectors once again. Everybody have to have their tickets checked, and we will have some type of delay. With me, Terdima Usry, the CEO of the Mavs. And first of all, can you clarify exactly what caused this flash system or the sensor to go off?
Yeah, we had a very, very small fire in a kitchen on the Platinum Level restaurant. It was a small fire, small flash, but what it did is it triggered water. And once the water alarm went off and the water started falling in that kitchen, it triggers the system throughout the building. It's very sensitive, and at that point, we had to evacuate the building until we could identify exactly what the problem was and get it rectified.
We understand the sensitivity of these devices and the warning systems, but after what happened November 30th in Bulls game, are there any overriding factors or equipment that should have been installed since then?
No, not really. I mean, to be honest, it's a cliche, but better safe than sorry. We have very sensitive system throughout the building. We have a lot of officers here throughout the building. We're not taking any chances with anyone's security, given the times that we live in. So we'd rather have a delay of 10, 15, 20 minutes and know that everybody in the building is safe and healthy and having a good time than to ignore it and have something go really wrong.
A short delay for the fans is not that big of a deal. Obviously, they'll be checked, come back in. But what about the teams? They're on schedules. They've warmed up in the locker rooms. How long do they get before we actually play this game?
Well, we held the teams. We told San Antonio to stay in the locker room as well as obviously ourselves, because we found out pretty quickly that it wasn't a major issue when we told everyone we'd reset the clock at 22 minutes. I got on the phone with the league office. Their system worked great. They called as soon as they heard there was a delay and let them know that there'd be sufficient time for the guys to warm up. We don't want any injuries out there, so they'll have 22 minutes to get warm and to get ready to go. I think more than anything else, it just gives people a little bit more time to be nervous.
With the sensitivity of the system, is there a chance that this could go off again in the next few minutes or sometime before this game is over?
No, there are fire marshals crawling all throughout the building, checking everything. It won't go off again. We had this actually happen a couple of months ago, and we keep tweaking the system. But again, it's just an idea from our perspective of being safe as opposed to sorry. And we're going to have a good time tonight. Again, the fire marshals are all here. They've checked the system. They're up there. They have control of the situation. And we're going to have a great time and hopefully win this game.
All right, thank you very much. Terdima Usry, the CEO of the Mavs. Everything under control right now, but of course, we still have to get the fans back in. They have to go through the security systems. They have to go through the metal detectors, have to go through the wands. The players have been told what time the game will start. They're starting to warm up again in the locker rooms, and we'll be back with the game between the Dallas Mavericks hosting the San Antonio Spurs in just a few moments.
The drama of the NASCAR Championship coming in July to TNT.
Hey guys, Domino's is here.
Sorry.
Kids, give this man some air, please. What day is it, sir?
Free pizza day.
And the next day?
Free pizza day.
Fascinating. And the next day?
Free pizza day.
Kids, your dad's gonna be just fine.
Now, every day is free pizza day at Domino's. Get a medium one-topping pizza free when you buy a large Domino's pizza at menu price any day.
Sir, how many pizzas am I holding?
2.
He's good.
Get the door. It's 2-for-1 pizza days.
Don't we need broccoli? I think I need a haircut.
Kids who can't wait to go on everyday errands?
How are we on gas?
Here's why. Bank One introduces Disney's Visa credit card. The new way to turn your everyday spending into magical Disney rewards. Disney's new Visa card.
You don't know what I had to do to get here.
Only from Bank One.
He was the top of his class.
So you're a recruiter for the CIA.
Now the opportunity of a lifetime could cost him his life. Academy Award winner Al Pacino, Colin Farrell.
Everything is attached!
The
Fruit, only this Tuesday on DVD and video.
My dad taught me 2 simple rules about car care. To take care of the engine, change the oil. To take care of the fuel system, add STP. When your dad is Richard Petty, you tend to listen.
Oh, look, it's the guy who falls. Fall now.
Oh, I don't really do that anymore. It's not like I got that insurance.
What insurance?
Flat. They pay you cash if you can't work when you get hurt. Not that I ever do. Aisle 5 under lingerie.
Price check!
Aflac. That's about it at work.
Aflac.
This is Ernie Johnson at American Airlines Center. This has been an interesting last few minutes, to say the least, as fans continue to file back into the center here in anticipation of Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. Players are milling around in anticipation of the same thing, but this game will obviously not start on time, probably about a half hour from now, as a result of what happened earlier, I would say in the last 15 minutes or so, when sirens went off and an announcement was made on the public address system that there was an emergency and that everyone had been instructed to leave American Airlines Center. That included us as we went outside. Craig Sager has updated you on exactly what was going on, and let's if you're just joining us, let's get back to Craig just for a recap on what made the alarms go off and where we stand right now. Craig?
Well, AJ, it's sort of a precarious position right here for the Dallas Mavericks and also for the fans, because on one hand, with the sensitivity of everything, especially with the code orange you have going on right now, people are saying, hey, get out of the building, evacuate everything. On the other hand, you have people who are here back in November when we had a similar situation, and they're saying, hey, it was a false alarm. The system should have been overridden. There's nothing. It's just a false alarm. Well, right now what has happened is they've cleared everybody out, let them back in. It was a sensor in the kitchen. They've taken care of the kitchen, and they've now taken over that system right now. And as we've heard from Tordima Usry, they have fire marshals everywhere to make sure that there isn't a reoccurrence. And we will have a little bit different delay, and hopefully we'll be talking to both of the players and also the coaches in a second. But right now, as you said before, we are going to have a delay. EJ?
All right, thank you very much, Sags. And they're saying now around 25 minutes from now, and you see San Antonio Spurs still waiting to get into their pregame routine before Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals, a series which they lead 2-1, and I can look around from where we are and see the fans settling back into their seats, but certainly a situation that they told us to leave and nobody questioned it. We all went outside and now slowly but surely re-entering American Airlines Center. We'll be back with more here on TNT after this.
Fly Southwest Airlines with everyday fun fares as low as $49 each way. So get packing.
You are now free to move about the country.
No matter where you are, with Sprint wireless phones from Radio Shack, you can take and send pictures instantly. Not that I'm going Hollywood or anything. So come to Radio Shack, your wireless phone headquarters.
Isn't that...
Get PCS Vision Picture Phone with Picture Mail that talks from Sprint. Take and send pictures with a recorded message, just $99.99.
It was him.
It was him.
Not that I'm going Hollywood or anything.
Radio Shack.
Wherever you go, whatever you go through, dry, scratchy, irritated eyes don't have to come with the territory. You've got Visine Tears. When eyes get dry, scratchy, irritated, Visine Tears can soothe, moisturize, and protect like your own natural tears. And it's safe to use as often as you need. Visine Tears relieves dry eyes like your own natural tears. And when allergies make your eyes itchy and red, get relief with Visine A.
And there's more efficient use of space.
Great.
Just talked to the guy at Office Depot. Everything's going to be fine.
Terrific. Office Depot sells office products to more of the world than anyone, so we know how to help you get better organized.
Looks good.
Office Depot. What you need to know.
We welcome you back to American Airlines Center, where the fans continue to re-enter American Airlines Center for Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals after the place was evacuated a short time ago. The Spurs are on the floor. Now live, you see the Dallas Mavericks taking the floor in front of the home folks, trailing 2-1. We welcome you back to our set here as an extended version of the Gatorade pregame show continues. Magic Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Charles Barkley, and it's one of those things when the authorities say leave.
You gotta leave. You know, especially now during these times, you have to get out. But Kenny, Charles, I've never seen Kenny move this fast as them back-to-back championship days in Houston.
He was getting out of here. Hey, I used to leak out on the break. I leaked out. I listen to directions real well. This is just a crazy time that we live in, and we have to deal with it. This is a crazy time.
So if you're on the Spurs or the Mavs right now and something like this happens, I mean, how do you take it? Does it throw you off at all? Where were you in terms of getting ready for the game, or is it a non-issue?
It's a non-issue. A lot of reporters try to say what an issue it is. Players don't care. You see these guys out here laughing and joking. They're going to get loose, then they're going to go play. But those tricky Mavs, that was key to where they pulled their alarm.
It reminds me of the Boston Celtics.
Don Nelson played. Old tricky Don Nelson played for the Celtics.
Red Auerbach move.
Hey, let's check in again with Craig Sager, who was kind of taking us through this while the place was evacuated and then refilled, and he's with Bruce Bowen. Right?
Well, thanks, EJ. While everybody else had to leave the building, you guys were told to stay in your locker. What effect did that have on your preparation? What were you guys doing back there?
We just have to stay mentally prepared. We understand that we have a game to play tonight, but we really feel like that's a childish act for whoever did that with what's going on in our country today. For something like this to happen just on the humbug, it's not right for everybody here, not just for the Dallas Mavericks or the San Antonio Spurs, but as a whole community here, period.
It was a slight kitchen fire with a sensor that set off some water. So it wasn't a false alarm, but a small incident. But of course, with the sensitivity, all the equipment they have now because of September 11th, they thought it was better to be safe than sorry.
Well, in that case, and I take back what I just said.
As far as the players go, though, this did not affect your heat, your warm-up, when you come out to practice time?
Well, no. I mean, you understand that you're still going to get the amount of time to warm up as you did before. So it's not a matter of we were playing a game, then we had to stop the game. It was just coming into warming up, so we can always get warmed up with time they've allowed us to have now.
I apologize for interrupting your warm-up again. Good luck.
No problem.
Cheryl?
Thanks a lot, Craig. I'm joined by Steve Nash. And a bit of a delay. How much of a distraction is it, or is it really?
Well, it's the same for everybody, so, I mean, it shouldn't be that big a deal. It's just a pain in the butt, kind of.
Steve, you have actually no 7-footers for tonight's game. You lose your leading scorer and rebounder. What's the game plan?
Well, I think we're just going to have to really push it, run, make shots, just be aggressive and really scramble tonight and just make them play at a pace they're uncomfortable at.
And I remember you telling me how much that Tony Parker has matured throughout this year and this playoffs. How do you contain him? He had a big game in the last game.
Yeah, he got really hot in the third quarter, and we just got to do a better job. When he gets in the paint, gets his confidence going, then he's good all over the court. So just got to keep him out of the paint, do a better job on the pick and roll covers, and just try to stay in front of him.
A lot of shot opportunities now that Dirk is not here. Everybody has to be aggressive tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we got nothing to lose now. We're already down. We're missing our best player. Let's go out there, have some fun, and let it all hang out.
Hey, thanks for your time. Good luck tonight.
Thanks.
All right, let's send it back to you, DJ.
All right, thank you, Cheryl, and thank you to Steve Nash. And to get back to Bruce Bowen for a second, one reason he may have referred to that as a false alarm, the public address announcer here a short time ago was referring to an incident in November against the Chicago Bulls and said, remember, we had a false alarm back then, and we won the game and got everybody here roaring. So Sager's report, Craig Sager's report, accurate about the sensor going off, but hopefully all of that is in the past now, and we settle in here and we play game 4 of the series. Charles?
Yeah, man, guys don't care about that. You see those guys, it's the same. As long as they get to warm up, they'll be fine.
And you know what? Sometimes the best thing to happen when something like this happens is to play basketball. I know when there was something on my mind, I just wanted to hit that court. Those guys just want to play, and they're going to entertain us, and they're going to play just as hard.
How about Steve Nash's view of playing without Dirk Nowitzki tonight? He says, hey, our best player's not here. Let it all hang out, just go out there and have fun. Easier said than done, Jeff?
Easier said than done, and then you say you have nothing to lose, you do, because this is the Western Conference Finals. This is what you played for, and there is a possibility that Dirk could come back. This game is huge. If you get an opportunity to win without Dirk Nowitzki, that says volumes about your team. So this is not a free swing like Dirk had said earlier about winning one of the games. This is not a game that doesn't mean anything. This is the biggest game for the Dallas Mavericks and their organization in the last 15 years.
Now the San Antonio Spurs, meantime, Charles, when you have a team down 2-1 and you have their best player out, I mean, this is killer instinct now, right?
They definitely got killer instinct. I think as aggressive as Tim Duncan was in the last game, he's probably going to be more aggressive, but they really don't have anybody to match up with him. But, you know, we're trying to figure out how Dallas going to play. I don't think Dallas going to run and gun these guys. I think they're going to play a zone, and they're going to milk the clock. That's the only chance they got.
I know that you don't agree with that totally, but we'll get back to you in just a second. We want to go back to Craig Sager. He's with Malik Rose now.
Malik, they told everybody they had to leave the building. You guys went back to the locker room. You guys had to leave the locker room. How did that affect you in any way?
It didn't really affect me. It's kind of weird. You know, we have to expect anything from Dallas on the court, and now we have to expect anything in Dallas. Thanks, Nick.
You mentioned Dallas. Let's talk about the game. Nick Van Exel obviously going by talking to you a second ago. I mentioned earlier if they go to the small lineup and may play into the Spurs' hands, we'll see more of you. What happens? How do you adjust? What's your playing time tonight if they do that?
I just when they go to those small lineups, I just have to concentrate on defense and be able to, you know, guard different people at any different time because they're going to be running all those pick and rolls to try to take advantage of their mismatch.
You say guard anybody, anytime. I bragged about you in the pregame show. I said Malik Rose can guard 1s through 4s. Magic up there, and Ernie, and Kenny, and Charles. Since when can Malik Rose guard point guard?
Hey, I switched on a lot, and I don't know. I mean, Kenny, if he wants to play, I'll guard him. Magic will probably back me down or whatever, and I don't know what I'll do with Charles. It's like, you know, childhood idol, but I don't know. I'll do anything against anybody. It doesn't matter.
Well, thanks for watching my back. I'll stick out for you. Thank you very much. Now let's get over to our play-by-play announcer, Marv Albert.
All right, thanks, Craig. And I'm with the czar, Mike Fratello, and Jeff Van Gundy. Have you guys ever been involved in an incident somewhat similar?
Never where a building was empty prior to the game. Closest thing I can remember is a team who happened to be Portland showed up maybe a half hour before tip-off. Their airplane was diverted to Tennessee. They had a bus down from Tennessee, and then when they got there, they had no uniforms. We had to give them our other set of uniforms to play the game in. So the game was pushed back about an hour, hour and 10 minutes.
Jeff, we all had a chance to spend time with Don Nelson earlier. There was such mystery surrounding whether Dirk Nowitzki would play, would not play. I don't think people believed Don when he said he didn't think he would play, but he insisted that he would not play. How does he approach tonight's game without Nowitzki?
Well, I think he's making a very, very intelligent move, putting Nick Van Exel into the starting lineup so he has enough offense on the floor early in the game. Van Exel and Nash's productivity in this series has been way down. By playing them together right from the start, hopefully it'll get their production on the uptick.
Azar, the San Antonio point of view, how does Greg Popovich look at tonight's game without Nowitzki in the lineup?
I'm sure Pop, once he hears the announced starting lineup, will make a quick substitution pattern. He does not like to downsize just because Don Nelson's going to do it. His strength is their size and the ability of Tim Duncan to basically handle the entire front line. So he'll watch how it goes early on. They made, I thought, a great adjustment during the game by switching pick and rolls to kind of turn the thing around in the last game for them in their favor. I think we'll see a little bit of everything to start the game now tonight, but Popovich is going to go to his strength, which is size up front.
All right, both clubs in their delayed warm-up on the court, getting ready. Let's send it back upstairs to Ernie. All right,
right, thank you, Marvin. Just to recap for everybody now, it was 35 minutes ago when the sirens went off here at American Airlines Center. They said there was an emergency and everyone needed to leave the building. As it turns out, there was a small fire in a kitchen here at the American Airlines Center. A sensor detected it and the alarms went off. We stood outside for maybe 10 minutes and then we're told we could come back in. As a result of the delay, obviously the start of the game was going to be delayed, but as you can see now, as you look out on the floor, both teams are there, and it's just game 4 is going to happen, just going to be a little later than we thought it was going to happen. And I don't know where else we can possibly go on this, guys.
Well, leave it alone then and quit talking about the delay. Well, let's play basketball.
I'll tell you what we will talk about at halftime, Chuck.
What's that?
LeBron James will be joining us.
The brother got $100 million.
Already.
18.
Just on his feet.
And hasn't even played.
Damn, I hate my mother for having me too soon. Mama, you have me too soon.
He is going to be the #1 pick of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I was on the internet today. I saw on eBay there were 41 pages worth of stuff that are LeBron James related that you can bid on.
What was the weirdest thing on that?
I don't know, just a lot of T-shirts and jerseys.
I'm just glad he went with
basketball cards.
No bubble gum. I'm just glad he went with Nike. That'll make that stock rise. Not that AOL stuff you got, Ernie.
Hey, what do you want to know from him when we talk to him at halftime?
Well,
not to tip him off totally, but what do you want to know from this kid?
Well, I just want to make sure he surrounds himself with good, smart people. He got a great agent in Eric Goodwin. That's a lot of money. You got a lot of freeloaders, a lot of hangers-on. You got to surround yourself with good people who know what the hell is going on, not your friends, people who are in the business.
I think it's all basketball. How do you get yourself prepared for a high school season, and all of a sudden you get yourself prepared for an NBA season, which is totally different? Who are you going to talk to, and how are you going to do that? It's probably the biggest thing I want to know.
Just keep on smiling and having a good time. No, because, see, what's going to happen, he's going to go up against things he's never had to deal with before. Bad games, 4 or 5 in a row. He's going to have to travel now, playing 82 games instead of 29 high school games.
Groupies.
Yeah, exactly. And so he's
a lot of male groupies.
A lot of male groupies, too.
A lot of male groupies.
Who want to spend his money.
That's exactly right.
Ernie, he's going to have to continue to have a good time. But, Charles, you made the best point. Surround yourself with good people.
We'll be talking to LeBron James at halftime of Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. They're going to tip this thing in a little under 10 minutes. We hope you enjoy the game. When we come back, we'll turn it over to Marv Albert and Mike Fratello and Jeff Van Gundy. Dallas down 2-1. This one is big.
The Home Depot is more than a store. It's a whole new look for your home in one 3-day weekend. Right now, during our Memorial Day weekend event at Home Depot and Expo Design Center, get no payments and no interest for 12 months on all kitchen, bath, and appliance purchases of $299 or more. Just use your consumer credit card. You have a long weekend. We have the expert advice and the guaranteed low price to make do-it-yourself projects more doable than ever. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
The Wagner Quick Touch Power Roller. A whole new way to paint. One touch lets you control the paint. The exclusive smooth flow system makes painting neat, quick, easy. The amazing Wagner Quick Touch for professional results fast. The Wagner Quick Touch Power Roller, a faster way to paint.
Hey, let's see the number. Oh, man. I talked to that girl for 20 minutes. Nothing. You broke the Verizon. Verizon? You looked.
I looked. I saw you look, man. Your eyes, they're up here, man. No, how could you not look? See what she was wearing? I mean, you guys look. You gonna call her?
Yeah, real Rocky Mountain beer and guys to drink it with.
Jason, look on the other guy's face. To be my own Manning.
Being a woman.
Because last year, I couldn't.
Millions of little girls.
Every athlete is fueled by something.
Welcome back to American Airlines Center. The usual capacity crowd, better than 19,000, have finally been able to make their way in on a delayed basis as we get ready for Game 4 of this Western Conference Final Series between the San Antonio Spurs and the Dallas Mavericks, with the Mavs looking to tie the series at 2. And the big story, as the guys touched on during the pregame show, Dirk Nowitzki will sit it out. It was early fourth quarter, Game 3 Friday night. Dirk suffered a sprain to the ligaments that hold his left kneecap in place. He went down involved in that collision with Manu Ginobili. So Dirk will not play tonight. A moment ago, we were talking about how Don Nelson will approach tonight's game. Well, his made lineup changes, and Nick Van Exel is now in the starting lineup. Nick started only one game all season, but Jeff, of significance, Nelson now has coming off the bench Eduardo Nahara, Roger Bell, Adrian Griffin, and Tariq Abdul-Wahed. I would think that the starters will see much playing time.
Well, Nash, Van Exel, and Finley must come through. But even more important than that is their level of belief. All 9 Mavericks that come on the floor tonight must believe they can win tonight, must believe they can win the series, and ultimately win a championship.
And Czar, what a spectacular performance on Friday night by the combination of Tim Duncan and Tony Parker.
Mark, at halftime, the Spurs were down 8 points. In the first half, Duncan had a double-double already, so he was doing his job on the way to 34 points, 24 rebounds, along with 6 block shots. He needed somebody else to step up. It was the 21-year-old Tony Parker, who in the third quarter went for 19 points on the way to 29 points. So just a spectacular performance by the two combined.
And they combined for 63 of San Antonio's 96 points. Well, we hear the buzzer. Crowd reacts. Apparently, they're just about set for the playing of the national anthem and the introduction of the starting lineup. Let's go to the public address voice here of the Mavericks. Humble Billy Hayes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hat as we honor God and America with the singing of the national anthem, performed tonight by Patrick Thomas.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang loud, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to tonight's game. Western Conference Finals, game number 4 between your Dallas Mavericks and the San Antonio Spurs. Introducing the starting lineup for the Spurs. forward from Wake Forest in his 6th NBA season, number 21 is Tim Duncan. At center from Navy in his 14th NBA season, number 50, David Robinson. From Oakville in his 3rd NBA season, at guard number 3, Stephen Jackson. And at guard from France in his 2nd NBA season, number 9, Tony Parker. Head coach of the Spurs is Greg Popovich.
The drama of the NASCAR Championship coming in July to TNT.
Hey guys, Domino's is here.
Jeez, give this man some air, please. What day is it, sir?
Free pizza day.
And the next day?
Free pizza day.
Fascinating. And the next day?
Free pizza day.
Kids, your dad's gonna be just fine.
Now, every day is free pizza day at Domino's. Get a medium one-topping pizza free when you buy a large Domino's pizza at menu price any day.
Sir, how many pizzas am I holding?
2.
He's good.
Get the door. It's 2-for-1 pizza days.
Don't we need broccoli? I think I need a haircut.
Kids who can't wait to go on everyday errands?
How are we on gas?
Here's why. Bank One introduces Disney's Visa Credit Card. The new way to turn your everyday spending into magical Disney rewards. Disney's new Visa Card.
You don't know what I had to do to get here.
Only from Bank One.
For those of you who may have just joined us, the start of tonight's game, delayed about a half hour. A small fire breaking out in the kitchen, leading to a water burst on an upper level of the arena, which set off the alarm. The arena must be automatically cleared, and it was. So we're starting a little past 8 o'clock here in Dallas instead of 7:30.
Bob, I hope I can work my way back into the game now. I cooled down a little bit, but I think I'm ready.
Jeff, we were worried about his psyche.
Well, sometimes he drifts from in and out of what's best for the team. He's thinking about himself. We got to get him thinking team.
You see Dirk Nowitzki sitting it out. Without Nowitzki during the regular season, Mavericks won one and lost one. He missed 2 games, and the loss was an early season defeat at San Antonio back in December. San Antonio in control off the opening tip. Jackson for Duncan. He is fouled by Van Exel. The officials tonight are Bernie Fryer, Derek Stafford, and Joe DeRosa.
You can see with these early matchups now, the decision for Greg Popovich will be how long can he stay with his two big men, and that will depend on how well they defend this offensive unit. I mean, to make up the points and rebounds that Nowitzki has given them during the season and the playoffs up to this point, trying to replace them. He can't replace his rebounding, his size. But what Don Nelson's tried to do is put some firepower out there on the floor. We'll see if the Spurs can defend him.
And I'd be shocked if Dallas doesn't play a great game tonight. I think Nash and Van Exel and Finley are going to all play well tonight and give themselves a chance in the fourth quarter.
The press. Finding some space. Williams to the open man for three. Dallas an excellent three-point shooting team. They will have to scramble. They'll have to be on fire from downtown. And, of course, Don Nelson loves this type of situation. Certainly prefer to have Dirk Nowitzki, but Bowen not able to hit the three. Van Exel tripped up. Van Exel went down, struck back up, and knocked out a three. And a quick timeout taken by Greg Popovich in the 22nd timeout.
What we see early on is we see Dallas coming out, getting away from their set plays. Even though Van Exel trips, he still finds it quick enough to launch the three-pointer before a defender can get there. What's happening is this half-the-game motion-type offense that Dallas has gone to early is unpredictable. You don't know exactly what they're going to do next. It's got San Antonio's defense off balance.
And I think you made a great point. Don Nelson told us before the game they wanted to play fast and score in transition. But if they didn't get a good opportunity, then play slow in the half court, take a lot of time. The first possession where Nash hit the three, 10 or 11 passes, and then they took a shot with less than 5 on the shot clock.
They swung the ball from the left side of the floor, Jack, completely reversed it, got it to the right corner for the open three. Don Nelson also said if things aren't going well, we'll play fast. Here's Duncan. So the Mavericks have a 6-3 lead. A live TNT NBA Spanish language feed is now available by SAP. But the Spurs always expect some sleight of hand from Nelson. Unusual matchups, turning disadvantages for his team into positive situations. Always loves those hybrid-type matchups. Tony Parker handling against Michael Finley. Here's David Robinson drawing the double. Bowen for three. And on the back tap, Parker able to race it down.
Boy, you see a white jersey search out Tim Duncan and make sure they put a body on him, trying to keep him from getting second, third shot opportunities.
So Jackson has an open three. Here comes Nash. Goes to the pull-up, and he's way off. Steve Nash has had a tough time in this series. Remember last year there was a feeling they had worn down because of the high number of minutes he played during the regular season. Parker comes up with there.
Well, right now the emotion is very high for both teams. Steve Nash got caught up with it. That was a poor shot he took. Right there, Tony Parker hurried his shot. No passing of the ball.
And Greg Popovich has already seen enough. He's going to Ginobili and Claxton. He does not like how this game is starting for his team.
Nash working hard. The French with the rebound, but a foul. Basketball count of a pushing foul on Ray LeBron.
Well, you think about it, Jeff. Of the 5 field goal attempts that San Antonio's taken, 4 out of the 5 have come from their perimeter guys. Popovich wants the ball down inside. They can pay the price.
And here's an immediate message from Greg Popovich. 3 early substitutions. Speedy Claxton, Malik Rose, and Manu Ginobili.
And this is what this substitute is all about. How do they react? Do they sit over there and complain about the early substitution, or do those three guys who were substituted for gather themselves and become more determined to play better basketball?
He took out David Robinson along with Steven Jackson and Tony Parker. Ginobili trying to get it down low. Shot clock to 6. Here's Claxton. And he's fouled. The press went for the block, and he's called for a second.
Mark, this last series coming down the floor for San Antonio is exactly what Greg Popovich wanted. They started the ball on one side of the floor. They reversed it all the way to the other side, punched it in, kicked it back out, swung it back again, and then penetrated at the end and drew a foul. That's what he told me he wanted as a game plan. That's what he expected Parker and Jackson to execute.
And I think Dallas's players have to be more economical in their fouls.
Watch how the ball begins on one side, now goes over to the right side. You see a little penetration, kick it in, kick it back out, swing the ball, skip pass, ball fake, drive baseline, and then the foul takes place. Those are the things that Popovich wants to see.
Eduardo Mahara has come on for Rafe LaFrance, who collected the 2 early fouls, along with the absence of Nowitzki. Sean Bradley sitting out with the injury. Evan Eschmeyer is out with a sore knee. So Dallas with 9 players that are available. Mavericks have an 8-5 lead. Lake Rose coming off the 1 for 10 the other night after the terrific game 2. Duncan being played by the very physical Mahara. Rebounded by Walt Williams. And Exel able to beat Bowen and get some shots. Nick and Exel came up with 13 points in the first half the other night, shooting 5 of 8, but then went 1 for 7 the rest of the way. Has not been able to locate those mid-range shots so successful against Sacramento. And a loose ball foul against the Spurs. It's on Duncan.
Again, the white jerseys seek out Duncan. They put a body on Duncan. And when he reaches over the top, this time he's full for the offensive foul by coming loose ball foul over the top Tim Duncan.
And you're right, he could have been called for an offensive foul on his initial turn in. Mahara using his body to protect the basket.
Walt Williams shoots the 3. Up back to Nance. Here's Van Exel, finishes high. Finley dumping around Ginobili and gets it fouled. And the Mavericks have come out with a push. The Spurs take a hook and over.
This is a very difficult lineup to guard. I don't care who's playing. You've got small people on the floor that can put her, penetrate, and finish at the end.
Cold filter what you don't need. Keep what's good. MGD.
Introducing a new level of performance from Acura. The all-new TSX.
Oh, look at that MVP move! MVP? Come on, player. The real MVP just landed home.
Now, Verizon Wireless lets you help choose the NBA Finals 2003 MVP. Just text MVP to the number 622 to participate. Then, during a deciding game of the finals, you'll be sent a ballot. Look for your favorite player. Because every night you vote, you're entered in our sweepstakes for a chance to win a high-definition TV and wireless phone. So text MVP to the number 622 now to get started.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
It takes more than an individual to win a championship. It takes a team. Everyone working together, playing defense, leaving their egos at the door. It's old school basketball. And those who know its secrets will show what it takes to become a champion. The finals are coming. Game 1, June 4th at 8 p.m. on ABC.
Log on to SI.com for the latest NBA news, scores, and more from Sports Illustrated.
TNT's exclusive coverage of the NBA Western Conference Finals. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. More than 2,700 non-stop daily flights to 59 destinations. Verizon Wireless. Sign up for America's Choice Family Share Plan. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you. NikeBasketball.com. And MGD. Cold filter what you don't need. Eat what's good.
Well, we mentioned the 3 quick substitutions by Greg Popovich, putting in Malik Rose, Speedy Claxton, and Manu Ginobili. He said he had to change the rhythm of the game. He did not like the way they were playing it. He did not like the fact that Tony Parker took the quick shot, was playing into the hands of the Dallas Mavericks. Also, he wasn't happy with Steven Jackson's energy level. He has been talking about both assistant coaches, and he has been told to move over and join his teammates and sit by the bench instead of underneath the basket.
That's like Greg in the last 48 hours. Dirk Nowitzki has received lots and lots of treatment, from icing to electric stim to a new device that the Mavs bought from Germany. It's called DOT, deep oscillation therapy. Its main function is to keep swelling out of the joint and out of the general area. I spoke to Dr. Samuel, the key physician. He said there's been a little bruising on the inside of that left knee. That's to be expected, but absolutely no swelling. And Mark, that's great news if there's a game 6 or 7.
Yes, it is, Cheryl. And Dirk is a guy who in the past has not had knee problems. He has had ankle difficulties throughout his career. Dallas is open with great emotion here at the start. 5 minutes gone by. They lead it 12-5. They double on Rose. Shot clock to 3. Roll in front of it, and it's a 24-second violation.
Excellent defense. They trapped it from that Dallas. They trapped the low post hard, double teamed it, forced the kick out pass. They reposted the same guy up again. They came again. They're really full energy right now, Mark.
And Nelly's done a great job with the matchup. He's got Finley guarding the point guard. So a bigger double teamer is the initial guy to go down on the post.
Ron picks it out. That Hexel for Williams. There's Williams. Oh, nice pass, but not Ron. Not able to hit the layup.
You know, you just saw Don Nelson kind of make a fist and semi-punch the table, meaning, geez, we missed a layup, and you normally would overreact to just one layup early in the game, but Don Nelson understands the significance of each basket this game. Each one is important.
And Parker is going to get his second opportunity to come in, and it's really important. I can't overstate it enough, Mark, how he comes back into the game. I at one time took out 5 starters in Washington after a poor start of the game, and we ended up winning the game. It had nothing to do with the move. It had everything to do with the reaction of the players who were substituted for. They didn't like it one bit, but they were professional, and they did what they needed to do to come back in and play well. I'll be interested to see what Parker does, and particularly what Steven Jackson does.
You see, there's only certain ways you can get the message across the players. If they don't want to hear you yelling and screaming at them, then what's the other alternative? Substitute and send the message that way.
Bruce Bowen off to the shaky start at the line. He shot well at the line the other night. Here's Finley for 3. The Mavericks with a 15-6 lead. Baseline official Joe DeRosa with the holding call. Now Nelson got a great one that call. Walt Williams picks up his second.
It is so loud in this building that 2 of the players, Williams and Rose, never even heard the whistle that time. It was 2 or 3 seconds past it. They were still playing.
Billy Rose, 2 shots.
And the Mavericks are over the foul limit. A reminder, exclusive coverage of this Western Conference Final Series continues here TNT. That'll be Tuesday in San Antonio with Game 5 coverage starting at 9 o'clock if necessary. Game 6 back here in Dallas on Thursday starting at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Only 38 personal fouls were called in Game 3 following the 72 in Game 1 and the 48 in Game 2, plus the 2 ejections and the 7 technicals in Game 2. Adrian Griffin has checked in, coming on for Walt Williams. This is Griffin with it. Off the weave, Finley goes back to Griffin. Shot clock down to 5. Too much passing. Griffin recovers. It did hit the rim, but back come the Spurs.
You know, Marv, all this early energy for Dallas is excellent. But the bottom line is, it's still only a 7-point lead here in the first quarter. Ginobili hits the 3 from downtown. Can they sustain this energy over the next 3.5 quarters? That's the key right there.
Maharov gives it right back on a traveling violation.
And will they have enough front court players to even compete? LaFrance, Williams, both was too early. You've got Maharov at 6'7", and Adrian Griffin at 6'4". Size matters in the NBA. This is an unbelievable challenge for the Mavericks.
Maharov defending with some help on Duncan. Offensive foul on Bowen.
We just saw Don Nelson jump up, look out at Griffin. We'll see excellent defense. Finley guesses he's coming left, jumps in front. It may have been a block because his feet weren't set, but it was called a charge, so it doesn't matter. We're moving on. But Nelson jumped up, looked at Griffin and said, shoot the ball if you're open. Don't keep faking and putting it down. If you got a good shot, that might be the best shot we can get. You have to take it.
That was a previous sequence with the overpassing by Dallas. Here's Van Exel off the fake. Well, able to get it off on a ball fake against Bowen. Nick Van Exel. 3 for 3 here at the start. He has 7 points. Mavericks 17. And the Spurs 11. Adrian Griffin. Very tight defense on Malik Rose. Manu Ginobili. And this is Tony Parker with the shot clock down to 5. Duncan stripped. Good play by Griffin, who was an excellent defender. San Antonio gets back. And Exel didn't have the range on that shot, didn't have the balance, but they have the new shot clock. Now Griffin.
That's the shot that Nelson just got done telling. If you're open in that area, take it. That's a good shot for you. Mark, you mentioned Van Exel pulled up short on the jumper. That's because the size of Bowen made him pull back. He didn't have enough strength to finish the shot from the distance he was at.
Parker fouled by Maharov. That's his first.
And offensively, I like what San Antonio just did. Their post-up game right now is not generating enough quality shots. So what did they do? They went to the high pick-and-roll game with Parker. It gave Dallas trouble. Parker got to the rim and drew another foul.
Just remember in the last game in the third quarter when they were 8 points down, the Spurs, they came out, what'd they go to? High pick-and-rolls. Parker gets going, 19 points in the quarter.
Parker with 8 of 11 from the field in that third quarter, 19 of his 29, so that helped the Spurs erase that 11-point deficit. 4-point lead now for Dallas. Mavericks going without Dirk Nowitzki. Sean Bradley also out because of the knee injury of Steve Nash knocks down the 3. So the Mavericks 4 of 6 from downtown, and they're looking to put on the type of performance that we saw in Game 2 of the Sacramento series. Remember, Dallas with 83 points in the first half for a playoff record, and they went 19 of 42 from downtown. Parker penetrates. Beautiful move by Parker.
How did he respond coming off the bench? I'd say very effectively.
And on the turnover, back from San Antonio. Down to 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Here's Parker. Maharov with the rebound. Spurs get back. Nash was 1 on 5. Now Van Exel guarded by Parker. There's Williams who just checked back in. That was a 3-pointer
attempt. Completely different type of offense that time. An isolation, move everybody over to the other side. Forget all that pass. Get it to a guy, see if he can take his man.
Nash over to help on Rose. And the rebound taken by Van Exel. Forward, Strickland, Nahara. Several miscues here by Eduardo Nahara have hurt the Mavericks. Nahara back in the lineup after sitting out against a deep 5 bruise involved in the collision with Malik Rose back in game 1. Here's Parker. No, I don't think Carly is going to be sulking on the bench.
You know what, Tim? I noticed a lot of energy taken out of these guys early in the game. There's a lot of guys leaning over right now, puffing and puffing hard. The energy has been draining here for them.
Absolutely. You see it in Dallas' offensive energy. First couple possessions, the ball was moving. Now they resorted to isolation.
Exel with the step. Oh, beautiful shot by Nick Van Exel. Mavericks lead 22-17, 9 points for Van Exel. He's hit 4 of his first 5. Working in this first quarter has been a passer, and Parker stepped out of bounds.
Tony Parker was so intent to try and get the ball back into Tim Duncan that he stopped reversing to the top and then dragged that pivot foot. See Van Exel on the penetration, take it up high over the top to Tim Duncan, so he's got Bowen playing him, Duncan coming. Heck of a shot that time.
We have to do this my way.
One network, 2 great stars, 3 chances to see proof of life. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. Starting June 13th, Russell Crowe and Meg Ryan in Proof of Life. Starting Friday, June 13th at 8, only on TNT.
Broccoli? I think I need a haircut.
Kids who can't wait to go on everyday errands?
I'm a real dads.
Here's why. Bank One introduces Disney's Visa credit card. The new way to turn your everyday spending into magical Disney rewards. Disney's new Visa card.
You don't know what I had to do to get here.
Only from Bank One.
The new season is here. Choose your weapons with MLB Extra Innings from DirecTV, American or National League, High Heat or Frozen Rope, Gold Glove or... With up to 45 out-of-market games a week throughout the regular season, you choose the matchups, the players, the games you want to watch. From A-Rod to Zito, we've got Major League Baseball covered. MLB Extra Innings from DirecTV. Order now and get the regular season for only $159. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS.
Bored with the same old wrestling? Then you need to see 2 hours of TNA total non-stop action wrestling. With legendary names, today's superstars, and the extreme athletes of the X Division. TNA total non-stop action wrestling. Wednesday nights on pay-per-view.
Everybody needs to take their game up a notch, just not in the overall scoring, but every aspect of the game that Dirk, brought to the floor. His intensity, his scoring, obviously his rebounding, and just his presence. I mean, that's going to be something that I think everybody who gets an opportunity to play has the opportunity to do those things.
Don Nelson was telling us earlier that Dirk wanted to play. He said Dirk described this morning, well, he said he felt fine. He got out of bed, was able to walk. But Don said to him, but hey, you can't play an NBA game. I'm not going to take a chance with your career, although there is a shot that he could play in San Antonio in Game 6, depends on the situation of the series.
Remember, that kneecap almost flipped on him, which happens a lot of times when the kneecap gets displaced. It almost turned over on him, but it snapped back in place then, which was the good news for him.
I would say by the way Dirk was dressed, he was thinking he was going to play tonight, Mark.
Now 1 minute remaining in this first quarter. Mavs up 22-17. Shot clock to 3. Here's Finley firing. And David Robinson back on the floor, able to get to the rebound.
Dirk either thought he was going to play tonight or go to dinner with you.
What are we saying here?
Hey, I'll take Dirk to dinner anytime. If the moment he becomes a member of a team I'm ever on, that guy can play basketball.
Well, he's got his reddish-orange sweatshirt on. He usually has the blue one on, so it's a nice match.
Foul on Finley. Tony Parker at the line.
And notice all 3 players that Popovich substituted for early are all now back on the floor. So Jackson and Parker and Robinson are all given a second chance. And I think that's a good move.
There's the switch of the pick and roll. Nash versus Duncan. Williams for 3. Kept alive by Van Exel. They got the new shot clock. Here's Nash challenging and thrown away. Parker with Williams back. Here's Parker. Van Exel with the rebound. Ginobili took it out of his hands. Van Exel saying that he was fouled. Ginobili just grabbed it away from Van Exel. We're down to 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Maverick lead is down to 1. Van Exel spinning his way on Ginobili. Finley got it off in time. They will review it. It appeared that the shot will count. And the buzzer, Michael Finley for the second. They're reviewing the play.
Nick Van Exel comes down. He's still angry from the no ball at the other end. Finley recovers it. Ball looks like it's clearly out of his hand. The shot should be counted as good.
And for the first time this series, the Mavericks have the lead after 1. It's Dallas 24, San Antonio 21.
When I totally lose control, I like it.
Hey, bro. How was your day?
Sweet. Cold fills are what you don't need. Keep what's good. MGD.
On the road and stuck trying to get business email in all the wrong places? Get Verizon Wireless Email Access and your data will travel on America's most reliable wireless network.
Can you hear me now? Good.
For all your company's wireless needs, we mean business. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
What in this world keeps us from falling apart?
What's important to me? When I'm performing, when I'm on the road, friends and family. Having them near and keeping them safe. Chrysler Pacifica.
K-Swiss. Here we go, y'all. Part 2. Got love for my shoes, K-Swiss. Let me introduce the K-Swiss Nito. You can rock anywhere, anytime, you'll be seen, yo. With a flip of the wrist and a twist, you get a whole new vibe from K-Swiss that I'll never miss. Classic style with the new school twist. Got love for my shoes, K-Swiss. Got love for my shoes, K-Swiss.
No one ever ruled the world, but one man came close. Christopher Walken.
This world sees us, it's a crime.
Richard Harris.
Strangle him now!
Chris Noth.
I'm going to wipe him off the face of the earth.
Jeremy Sisto. The ultimate betrayal.
I pray for your soul.
Caesar. World premiere Sunday, June 29th, only on TNT.
Back in Dallas, Marv Albert, Bizarre, Mike Fratello, Jeff Van Gundy. Dallas by 3 after 1 quarter of play. And the start of tonight's game was delayed about 25 minutes because American Airlines Center had to be evacuated. That's at about, well, exactly at 7:13 here in Dallas. A small fire broke out of the kitchen on an upper level, leading to a water burst, set off the alarm. And the arena must automatically be cleared, so it delayed the start of tonight's activity. Czar, are you back in your rhythm? What exactly is your rhythm?
It's been hard, Marv, but I've worked diligently to try and get my maximum concentration back for the remainder of this game.
We've heard enough.
You know, it's like that. Can you have a mute button on a broadcast from here?
That we could control.
Yes, that we could do.
Yeah. In the first quarter, Dallas 10 for 21 from the field. San Antonio only 5 of 14, but it's a 3-point game because the Spurs are spending lots of time at the line. Michael Finley off to the good start. 4 of 5. He has 9. The Spurs 10 of 12 at the foul line, and that's why this game is as close as it is. Pass broken up by Williams. David Robinson. Nahara trying to come from the blind side to reject it, but a bit late. 26-23 Dallas.
And Williams knows he can only do so much against Robinson's size, particularly because he already has 2 fouls.
Raja Bell is checked in for the first time. Early again from downtown. So they're going with the 3-point shot. Mavericks now 5 of 10 from beyond that 3-point line.
And the number that would worry me if I'm Greg Popovich is, with my superior size and strength, I'm being out-rebounded by 4 already.
Ginobili. Manu Ginobili has been very quiet in this series at the offensive end, but has 8 points here in the first half. Nice move by Van Exel. He was able to beat Jackson along the baseline. Mavericks 31. Spurs 26 with a minute and a half gone by in the second quarter. With Parker and Jackson at the guard. Duncan, Robinson, and Ginobili up front. Jackson fires the 3. Good shot clock for the Spurs. David Jackson feeling better after bothered by a throat infection. Ginobili again. Manu Ginobili, who played so well in the series against the Lakers, has not received much playing time thus far in this series, and has had a breakout first half. He's 3 of 3 from downtown.
Yeah, I would think that when a guy is going off the ball from the floor, you might stay with him a little bit closer and not come back off him as quickly.
There's Van Exel. Robinson on the rebound. San Antonio down by 2. Nahara knocking it away from Duncan and made contact, and Duncan did not like it.
Well, Duncan thought it was clearly a foul, and Nahara was trying to take him down intentionally before he could shoot the ball. And then Tim is, I think, off the officials out his shoulder. He was hit on the back right here. Right arm on the shoulder is what knocks Duncan down. Duncan's wondering where the foul is.
And I
Initially, he thought it was, he got fouled twice on the initial hit, and then the follow-through with the right arm. You don't see Tim Duncan react and lose his poise or get angry too often, so he certainly thought there was something more to the foul than just a normal common foul.
Foul on Nahal on his second. Now the foul on Williams, and that will put Ginobili at the line.
Early on, I didn't see the official react and call the foul, so I think Duncan kind of spun around. He questioned whether or not it was a foul or not, but he was really questioning why Nahara wound up hitting him over the shoulder with the arm.
Tim Duncan taken out by Greg Popovich. Tim Duncan to this point has had to approach matters the way he did in the series against the Phoenix Suns, as Popovich likes to say. The Suns for a while made him into Joe Montana, just looking to find people because of the double teams and has not a guy's going to force some shots. Roger Bell called for a technical foul as he swung his arms in the direction of Tony Parker. It was a late move, according to the official.
This comes very close to catching Tony Parker as he swings it. The official's opinion, that was a deliberate elbow towards the facial area. Technical.
Ernie Fryer with the immediate call of the tee, and Parker knocks him down.
As an offensive player, though, you do teach your guys to clear people off and out of your space. It can't be as violent of an elbow, but certainly the offensive players are the good ones in this league, create space.
I like the call, Jeff. I think it was the proper call. I had no problem with that call.
I agree with you, but at the same time, I don't think what he was trying to do was the wrong thing, which is to clear space.
San Antonio takes the lead. Friends coming up short.
See how hard it is to generate offense when the guy who put the ball in his hands 80% of the time, talking about Dirk Nowitzki, when he's missing, now all of a sudden you have to generate new offense through different people. It's very difficult.
Rose able to recover it as Parker lost possession. Rebounded by Fridley. It's Fridley from way downtown. And it deflects out of bounds. Last touch by San Antonio. Steve Nash will check back in. And a timeout is taken. 8 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the first half. Spurs 32, Mavericks 31.
When I totally lose control, I like it.
Morning.
Those are all good, but after cheating on me, he deserves something way more painful.
Tell it over a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
What in this world keeps us from falling apart?
Luxury is more than what you feel. It's knowing you can totally, completely relax. That is the ultimate luxury. Chrysler Pacifica.
He betrayed his friends.
What are you doing? See if your plan's my own.
This Friday,
I'm gonna see the look on that man's face when his gold is gone.
get ready
We made our play, and I came out on top.
for payback.
It's over when I say it's over.
You want to start the game up again? That's fine with me.
Mark Wahlberg, Charlize Theron, Edward Norton,
Just blew the element of surprise.
Surprised?
The Italian Job, rated PG-13. Starts Friday everywhere.
Need to go see the Greek and get a number.
some guys that are showing a lot of money. Important guys. Drugs, maybe.
They got money today, right? We all got problems, you understand me? Police are going nowhere. On my docs, this happened.
Got yourself a hell of a case.
Brilliant. Ripping. Daring. The Wire. An all-new season. Only on HBO.
Welcome back to Dallas. Just moments ago, the official Bernie Fryer called a physical taunting foul on Roger Bell of the Mavericks right here as he swung the elbows and just did miss connecting with Tony Parker. Here's the explanation from Bernie.
A little unsportsmanlike as a physical taunt, so that's skins you want, so be careful out here. Go ahead.
He's crowding me. What? I mean,
oh, you can't do that. Just let him crowd you. We'll get a foul on him. If he touches you, just move on it.
That's excellent officiating by Bernie Fryer. Explaining it, and what Bell has to realize, if that elbow would have connected to his face or anywhere above his shoulders, Bernie Fryer would have had to eject him for that type of foul.
He would have had a decision to make, probably would have wound up ejecting him from the game. I love the demeanor, though, where he went over, calmly handled it. Player said, I have a question. Go ahead, listen to it, and then explain how to help him out.
That was terrific.
Bernie Fryer, one of two on the NBA officiating staff that played in the NBA. He plays for the Portland Trailblazers. Leon Wood is the other. 4 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Spurs with the ball. They lead by 1. Here's Ginobili. Bell on the rebound. Roger Bell coming off a strong end of the offensive end the other night. Nash, Bell, Finley, and Exel, LaFrance on the court. Right to LaFrance. Well, that's his first bucket, and the Mavericks take a 1-point lead. Almost half of the Mavericks' shots have been from three-point range. Ginobili feeling it here tonight. Manu Ginobili with 14 points in a hurry here in the first half. 5 of 6 from the field. It's now slowing down for Dallas. Van Exel going up against an excellent defender in Ginobili. Drops off the floor. Here's Van Exel. Comes back to them. Van Exel with the runner.
That's a much better shot for Nick. Floating through the air, getting it up over the top of a guy that's a foot and a half, 2 feet taller. That's when he's comfortable, being set with his feet ready to plant. That's not good for Nick Van Exel.
San Antonio's not doing a good job rebounding the three-point misses.
Exel running into Rose, could not put the brakes on, so Van Exel with his second 2 apiece now on Van Exel, LaFrance, Williams, and Finley.
Mark, you mentioned earlier about Bernie Fryer and Leon Wood being the only 2 officials to go from playing to officiating. It probably tells you a lot about how difficult refereeing is, because all the players know it's a very difficult game to officiate correctly.
Following his playing career, as Tony Parker is able to hit the runner, Don Nelson will look to become an NBA official.
It's an excellent avenue for you to pursue that.
Well, I was trying to make that point for the kids out there. We're always trying to improve the youth of America.
Shaw has his little tips that he passes on. LaFrance able to get to it. No backcourt violation, and was touched by one of the Spurs. Here's Finley for 3. And back comes Tony Parker. Similar to the other night, has been on a number of loose balls. Comes up with an unusual number of rebounds for a point guard. Bullock challenging LaFrance and is rejected. Last touch by Rose. Good play by Bell.
Like Bowen forgot that Ray LaFrance does have the ability to block a few shots and try to shoot it through his arm.
5:32 remaining first half.
let a certified mechanic repair or alter your vehicle.
1, 2, 3, make it!
Let's leave information to the experts.
Make it!
Rules are there for your safety. That's right. Riding in style.
Make it!
Remix the rules, remix the flavor. New Tropical Sprite Remix.
Remix.
The only thing better than the world's best
is the world's best on the Travel Channel.
Every weeknight, we've got the most daring top 10 countdowns around. Like the coolest waterfalls, Hawaii's hottest beaches, the most fantastic food factories, and even the most outrageous bathrooms. World's best every weeknight at 8, only on the Travel Channel. Nobody does bests better.
Where do you get your pet's flea, tick, and heartworm medications?
Oh, what a hassle. I take the dog, drive to the vet's office, then sit and wait.
I just call 1-800-PET-MEDS, and my pet's medications are delivered right to my door.
Wow, I paid a lot at the vet's office.
And I paid a lot less.
1-800-PET-MEDS guarantees the lowest price on all your pet's medications. Order now and receive free shipping.
USA Today is the place for a comprehensive look around the league. Get all the latest scores, stats, standings, and daily game recaps to keep you up to date with your favorite teams and players. So pick up your copy of USA Today every day.
TNT's exclusive coverage of the NBA Western Conference Finals is brought to you by Chrysler. Cars so beautifully designed and brilliantly engineered you can't help falling in love. And Sprite. Obey your thirst.
From TNT.
If nature selects you to be a cold-blooded killer, then that is what you are.
Alec Baldwin.
What did they tell you?
Second Nature. See the world premiere Sunday, June 22nd at 8, only on TNT.
For the San Antonio Spurs in this first half, the man who has supplied the offense, Argentina's Manu Ginobili, who had been very quiet in this series, but tonight 5 for 6 from the field.
Yeah, and Ginobili totaled 9 points in games 2 and 3. We see him hit 2 3-pointers, and then he goes to his drive, his delayed reaction, banker off the glass. Right now, Ginobili with 15 points. Like I said, he had only 9 points combined in games 2 and 3.
The rest of the Spurs, 5 for 17. And Nick Van Exel has come up big in this first half, as he did in game 3.
And when Greg Popovich put Ginobili in within 3 minutes of the game, that's a big factor on if you subs can take guys out early. Hey, do you have anybody else as Bell hits that jumper? Do you have anybody else who can be more effective than the guy you took out? So Ginobili really responded well.
Arthur Bell continues to contribute on the offensive end. Friday night, 6 for 10, 14 points. Offensive foul. It's on Malik Rose.
From here, it looked like when Rose pulls the right arm back. Watch him pull the right arm back. Right there, where he hits him, knocks him down. There's been a little bit of acting on Finley's part.
All I know is Don Nelson teaches the flop better than anybody in the NBA. There, it looked to me like Finley was already falling before the contact.
Duncan has returned. He has attempted only 3 shots, 1 of 3 from the field as the Mavericks continue to double team. Rose draws the foul. Blake Rose, who had a sensational game too and spent much time at the line. He was 15 of 18 at the line. Only 1 for 10 in game 3. He'll shoot 2 right here. You saw Manu Ginobili get up and make his way to the scorer's table. He checks back in. A very brief rest for Ginobili. San Antonio spending a lot of time here at the line. 13 of 15 at the line. The Mavericks yet to shoot at the free throw line. Well, the NBA Finals will tip off on June the 4th, 8 o'clock on ABC. You can log on to NBA.com for an exclusive look ahead at the potential also matchups, including a statistical breakdown for all the conference finalists. Love it live on NBA.com. The winner of this series will face the New Jersey Nets. That's making their second straight trip to the finals. And they'll go in with 10 consecutive playoff wins. Really thought he was happy. Took the shot from Ginobili. Now the foul on Ginobili.
Well, I want to go back to something that Jeff said a moment ago about you have somebody better coming off the bench, replacing the guy who started. Going back to Manu Ginobili. When Steven Jackson came out of the game earlier, Jeff mentioned he wouldn't sit with the rest of the team. He wouldn't sat by himself on the baseline. The assistant coach went over, talked to him 2 or 3 different times, encouraged him to go back and join the team, be a part of it. I'll tell you what will make you go back and join the team on the bench is when the guy who comes in, like Ginobili, goes 5 for 6 on the floor and puts 15 big points up on the board. Then you rejoin the team suddenly.
Got clock to 4. Nash for 3. Steve Nash from downtown and the foul. Potential 4-point play.
Watch the wrist. The defensive player as he challenges. We'll see. Right. Turn in. Parker hit him on the forearm and wrist. 3-pointer goes in. Nash to the foul line.
And Nash has been complaining about that the entire game, that he was being hit after the release of his shot.
And a rare missed free throw for Steve Nash, one of the best at the line of the NBA. Here's Ginobili. Shot blocked by LaFrance. Ginobili able to get it back out to Parker. Parker, played by Duncan, they get the new 24. Bowen from Duncan. Rejected by Williams. 3-on-2 for Dallas. Finley lost it. Duncan for Bowen. Williams is back. Nice play. Parker shut up by Bowen.
It's almost like Bowen forgot to pass a couple times when he's got the shot rejected. That time, after getting it blocked again, he decided to give it up to an open teammate.
Game is tied at 40. LaFrance for 3. Coming up on 3 minutes remaining in the first half. As Parker pulls it back. Here's Ginobili. The reverse stuff by Manu Ginobili. Wow. 17 points. 12 of the 17 here in the second. Nash calls the foul.
This is just an athletic play by Ginobili. He delays a second after he feeds the post. Then he runs a cut without the ball, gets an outside handoff. He's not going to come on the regular side. He's going up and under on the other side to avoid LaFrance's block attempt. Check out the bench on this one. Kevin Willis loves it.
Nice move.
When love is all we
You know, for $1 million, I would totally go around with Holyfield. What? What? How bad could it be?
That's all you got?
Tell it over a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Look at this. The ring girl likes me.
Bruce, you've had a terrible accident. You're wondering why you're still alive. You're thinking there's something different. You may not want to believe it, but I can see it in your eyes.
Rated PG-13. From TNT. If nature selects you to be a cold-blooded killer, then that is what you are. Alec Baldwin.
What did they tell you?
Second Nature. See the world premiere Sunday, June 22nd at 8. Only on TNT.
Dallas is led by as many as 9. They started out with great emotion. San Antonio now up 42-40 with 2:44 to go in this first half. A reminder coming up on the Verizon Wireless halftime report. Ernie Johnson along with Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, and Magic Johnson. And via satellite, they'll be talking with one of Jeff Van Gundy's favorite players, LeBron James.
Not one of. Just ask him where he wants the ball. No, I'm joking.
Here's Ernie checking out the crowd as he gets ready.
Nice color shirt by Ernie tonight.
Citrus was what, last night or 2 games ago? Citrus tonight.
Wasn't that Telangelo a couple nights ago he had?
Telangelo, yeah. Along with the tilapia, the fish that he had.
Is that a Jerry Telangelo shirt?
It's gone through the pastels, all the different pastel shades first.
They say imitation is the greatest form of flattery, and he's just imitating our Craig Sager.
Craig kind of low-key. Game tied at 42. Duncan trying to get it inside to Robinson. And Exel attempted to go behind the back. Nearly got picked off.
Nice defensive job that time by Walt Williams. Coming out of the timeout. A play drawn up by Popovich. Throw it to the high post. David Robinson reverses to the rim. They use the play a lot, and then it's a high-low lob pass from Robinson. Williams did a good job defending it.
He sure did. I love when guys are competing when they know they're overmatched. And Williams has really competed with his low post defense. A couple plays before he blocked Bowens on the cut and trying to finish. So he's really competing at a high level.
The Wizards signed as a free agent. He was with Houston last year. He's played for Sacramento, Miami, Toronto, and Portland. Came up big in several games in the previous series against one of his former teams, the Sacramento Kings. Here is Finley for three. Mavericks are getting excellent looks from downtown. They are now 7 for 17 from beyond that three-point line.
Tony Parker looked at Jackson and tried to explain that's supposed to be your rotation out there. Jackson late coming.
Ginobili tries the three. Nearly got the hop. Oh, look out. Nash and Ginobili involved in that collision. And Ginobili called for the foul.
This is what you're talking about. Going hard, go full speed. Nash running. Ginobili trying to slow him up a little bit. See Ginobili trying to jump in front. He just did not have the proper angle. Definitely a block on his part.
14 fouls apiece with 1:45 to play in the first half. Now here's Bruce Bowen coming on for Manu Ginobili. 18 minutes, 6 of 9 for the field. 17 points for Ginobili. Langston and Jackson back on the floor for San Antonio. Here's Williams. Spurs on the run. Langston hit by Nash. And he regroups. Bowen for three. A loose ball foul. Stafford makes the call. It's on Nash. That's his first. Dallas is over the limit.
See from up top. On the inside, Duncan trying to fight the 4 white jerseys, but the loose ball foul. And Jeff, how do you explain this? Last game for San Antonio, the MVP, Tim Duncan, goes for 34 points and 24 rebounds. Right now, he has 3 points in this basketball game.
Well, I think they're doing a good job of double-teaming him. I think they should try to get him the ball on duck him from from the top where there are no double teams. But what I love about Duncan is he still passes the ball, gives it up, plus his teammates, and if they start continuing to knock down more and more shots, he'll have more one-on-one opportunities.
Similar approach that of the Phoenix Suns in that opening round series, and Duncan's numbers as a result were down, but the assists were up. He was looking for other people. 8 3-pointers for the Mavs, and they lead 48-44. Under a minute remaining in this first half. They continue with the double. Duncan lost it. Last touch by Dallas with 4 on the shot clock.
Well, you mentioned against Phoenix, Duncan's numbers were down as far as his field goal attempts. He has only 3 field goal attempts right now. He shot only 4 free throws.
4 on the shot clock. Down to 1. And Duncan is able to hit and draws the foul. Foul on Bell, that's his third.
Duncan swings in, the clock is run down. He's got to get the shot off. You can see right there the reach in. He was hit on the left arm as he shot the jump shot.
That's an excellent call. It's a very foolish foul by Bell. He should have gone up and contested it, but certainly not foul or appear to foul.
You know what I like, Jeff? Derek Stafford, the official, listens to Nelly. He understands the emotion of the game, and he did not react to it.
Right back from the three. 51-47. Dallas. 8 minutes remaining.
And that was a great 2-for-1 opportunity for Nash.
Claxton is turned back. There's a second and a half differential between the game clock and the shot clock. And they're working that clock down. They double Finley. Williams for 3. And a foul on the Spurs. They are over the limit, so Roger Bell will head to the line. Foul on Stevie Claxton.
Claxton sticks his nose in here as he goes after the loose ball. Unfortunately, he runs into the body of Roger Bell. Bell will go to the free throw line now. Again, a scramble for the ball, too much body contact down below.
Bell only a 68% free throw shooter. 1.5 remaining in this first half. Dallas to the line only 4 times, while San Antonio 18 of 20 at the foul line. So despite the fact that the Mavs have shot just under 48%, it's very close in this first half as Duncan heaves it. And a dramatic first half for the Mavericks, who are playing without size. They're without their star, Dirk Nowitzki. Sean Bradley not available. Their other big man, Evan Eschmeyer, not available. But they lead San Antonio here at halftime by the score 52-47. And they're doing it with a 3-point shot. Steve Nash 4 for 5 from downtown. They're 9 of 20 overall. Michael Finley with 15. Steve Nash with 14 points. Nick Van Exel with 13. Let's go to Cheryl.
And Nick, you guys were able to get off to a quick start. You expended a lot of energy. Can you keep the pace up in the second half?
I hope so. We know we're going to be in trouble, but we're playing pretty fast right now. What we're trying to do is just ISO and drive and kick. If we're making shots, it'll be a great success. If we start missing, we're going to be in trouble.
Tim Duncan only has 8 points, and you guys had to go with the smaller lineup out of necessity. What were you able to do defensively against him?
We're just being aggressive to try to attack him and make the other guys beat us right now. We know Tim can beat us by himself, so we got to make other guys beat us.
All right, good luck in a second.
Thanks.
Send it back to you, Mark.
All right, thank you, Cheryl. It is a desperation game for the Mavericks, who do not want to go back to San Antonio trailing 3-1. Coming up in a moment, the Verizon Wireless halftime report with Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Magic. We'll be right back.